Hey everyone, it's Eric with firearmtutorials.com, and today I wanted to share something that I thought was pretty interesting. Took me a little while to figure out. So you've seen this gun before in some of my other videos. This is my custom AR build, and went through a lot of time, trouble, and money to get to this point. But I did notice something. It was probably about at least a month ago, probably longer than that. I was actually sick for about a month, guys, so sorry I didn't have any other videos. But I was shooting this one day. I was shooting indoors, and it was freezing to me being in Florida, but I would say inside the temperature was like in the 60s. It was cold outside, and it was really cold. It was cold enough in there that I almost left because I was so uncomfortable. But I started shooting this gun suppressed, and after, I don't know, 15, 20 rounds or something, it started jamming. And it was something that I couldn't figure out initially. The gun wasn't going into battery. I had trouble. It's almost like the bolt wouldn't close. I was trying to use the forward assist, and that would work to some degree. And I just had a lot of problems. So I noticed just working the action, I had trouble, you know, when I would let it go just full force like such, that even then it wasn't going into battery. So I looked at the actual bolt itself, and unfortunately I should have taken a video of this after it happened, but you can see right there it looks obviously pretty dirty. This is a nickel boron bolt carrier group, but you can tell that it's definitely dirty towards the front of the bolt there. And what I actually saw was a bluish greenish buildup on there, similar to what you would see on you know, copper piping after it's been wet. And it was really confusing to me. And after I got done shooting, I also noticed that it was on the muzzle too when I was able to remove it. Now you see how shiny this muzzle brake is just from carbon and crap getting ground into it as I take it on and off. But I noticed it on the muzzle, it was a greenish, bluish buildup as well, and it took me a long time to actually clean it off, and it's probably still under there a little bit. I shot this today trying to reproduce the problem, but I think there's just too much carbon over the top of it. But I finally figured out what happened because I contacted YHM about it. Again, using the titanium suppressor here. And it makes sense when you think about it. So, like I said, it was about 60 degrees in there or so. And then as I kept firing, you've seen in some of my other videos, I've shown how hot this suppressor gets. Both, you can see it smoking, you can see a mirage, and then I hit it with the temperature gun. But YHM responded pretty quickly and said what's happening is inside this suppressor, after that much fire, is around 1,000 degrees Fahrenheit. So what's happening is the copper bullets, again, we know that the jacketing on the bullets is copper. As it passes through the suppressor, the heat in there is stripping off like just tiny amounts of copper due to the immense heat inside the suppressor and the ambient temperature of the room coming back through the suppressor as the projectile exits. It's creating moisture, which is then blowing back down to the breech here. So what I was actually seeing is water that was mixed with copper fouling, hence the greenish buildup. And I did notice it being left-handed. My gun being left-handed, my face is on the right side of the gun. And I could feel moisture coming out of the gun, and I knew it wasn't oil because I hadn't cleaned this gun in a long time. I don't heavily oil this gun anyway, so I was like, how could there be this much oil in the gun, and where is it coming from? So unfortunately, I wasn't able to reproduce the problem today. I did go to an indoor range, but it wasn't near as cold out, and you can see that I've got a little bit of buildup on the bolt here, but nothing like I had before, and this easily goes into battery. I couldn't get anywhere close to this before. It would pretty much stop right there, and then I would have to use the forward assist to get it fully into battery. So just something I thought was interesting, something I thought I would share with you guys. If I'm ever able to reproduce that problem again, I'll show it to you before I clean it. But this is something that could happen. You know, you guys that are shooting up north in the colder weather, like I said, I'm in Florida, so it hardly ever gets cold here, but something to know if you're obviously shooting in the cold and something like that happens. So that's pretty much it, guys. If you have any questions, let me know, and thanks for watching.